Hello, this is Miss Bumphus, and today we're going to be talking about a couple of things. So, welcome back to another session of STEM. We're going to be looking at forestry, woodland, contiguous forest, different biomes this week. So, hopefully, I can get to a lot of them so that you can have that live experience, okay? First, let's look at taking care of ourselves. Today, we're still living in a pandemic, COVID-19, and we want to take care of ourselves. The stronger your immune system, the better you're going to be able to pull through not just COVID-19, but any kind of virus, disease, or anything, okay? So let's take care of ourselves. Take your vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin B, C, D. C for building your immune system. Zinc for stopping replication of certain viruses, such as COVID-19, or slowing it down. What else can we take? All of that. Eat healthy, fresh vegetables. Try to do organic if possible. And the reason we say organic is because you don't have a lot of artificial ingredients that could possibly make you sick or give you allergies or anything like that. The genetic engineered food or artificial ingredients does. All right. So let's try to stay healthy. Also, when you're cooking, try not to use a lot of heavy oils and things like that can clog arteries. If you're not getting exercise you need, get outside, get this exercise, run, walk, hike. We're going to be hiking a little bit today. Do these things so that you can stay healthy and your family can stay healthy. When you're out, practice social distancing, and just do all the things that you know is right for being healthy. There's a lot of beautiful things out here on the earth that God has put in place for us, and a lot of people are overlooking it, and we need to pay attention to nature. Nature is our best friend, and you probably picked up on that with my videos from last week with edible plants, and all the toxins and things, and a lot of those toxins and things are extracted from plants, woods, and natural nature. Doctors use them, extract different antibiotics and different vitamins and things from it that will help us get better. Okay, so let's try to do it naturally as much as possible. All right, now there was a time when we had the coniferous forest. Forest bathing. Forest bathing is when you're out and you take hikes through the woods. When you're in the woods, forest bathing, you're breathing fresh oxygen from the trees, you're working your system, you're walking, and it's really, really healthy for you. It really activates our natural killer cells. And those natural killer cells consist of 3 proteins that is important with building our immune system, making you more immune. And it rises every time you take a hike. That is your glycerine, porphyrin, and your glycerin. All right, those granulocytes too. So those cells get activated when you're in the forest. It naturally triggers them. It makes your immune system twice as strong. Now we're going to be looking at coniferous forest today. It's somewhat of deciduous, but coniferous have more pine and coned plants or trees in it. So it's kind of a transition, but it's more coniferous a little bit. So we're going to be looking at the coniferous forest today. We're going to look at some of the leaves and plants and things that I have in it, okay? And I'm going to be boosting my immune system, because you only can get this boost by forest bathing, walking through the forest and experiencing that nature and that fresh air in your system, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's get right down to business, okay? This right here is a pine tree. It's also one of the identifiers of a coniferous forest. And you're going to have a mixture here of various types of trees and plants, okay? And some of these I have forgotten, but I'm going to challenge you to walk through the forest. Use your cell phone and identify some of these trees and plants, okay? Now in my video I'm going to show you some to stay away from too, okay? So pay attention, pay close attention. This is a sycamore tree right here. All right, you see how the leaves are kind of heart-shaped? That's a sycamore tree, and they grow all over North Carolina. Actually, our forest area, woodline area, land area in North Carolina is 18.9 acres, and 57% is woodland or woods and things. So that's something that you really, really need to consider, okay? Because without trees, we don't have oxygen. We don't have things or those ingredients that God and nature supply to us, that nature supply with to us to help us coexist. And a lot of people cut down our trees and forget about that. We have here a birch tree right here, okay? So you can tell by the shape of the leaves the different type of trees there is. There's a lot of honeysuckle, and we talked about honeysuckle last week, all right? So those honeysuckles are really, really good for you. You got to know how to prepare them and know which ones to pick. Only the flowers whenever you're doing forestry or wild forestry, practicing that type of, if you want to nutrient yourself or take care of yourself, kind of do some change natural stuff, all right? So here we have an ash tree. Ash tree has a lot of little branches on it and a little leaves. So you have that. It's a lot. Oh God, this forest here is so beautiful. I love it. Oh God, you can just feel the freshness in the air here. So you're gonna love this. You're gonna love if you take the chance and not be afraid to walk through the forest. You're gonna love it. Okay. We have I'm walking along a path here, and all along this path is all kind of shrubbery, as you can see here. This right here is a type of low vine-ish plant, and it's poison ivy. Not poison oak. It's two different. They're two different plants, okay? But that's poison ivy. This right here is a type of wild berry that grows on this plant here, and I have to do research on that. But that's your job. I'm challenging you to look these plants up, and I'm going to give you the website, or you could just Google Natural Plants and Shrubbery of North Carolina, and you will find this and everything. So here we have a lot of different plants. If you take a look at this tree here, right here, that's moss. If you ever get lost, you can look at moss on a tree. Moss grows on the north side of the tree. So instead of having a compass, if you don't have one, you can look at the moss on a tree and know which way is north. So I know that way is north, okay? And that way is south. This is west and east, all right? So I'm walking east. See? You can learn a lot just from taking notice of things that's been presented to you through nature, all right? We have a pine tree here. This pine tree has very thick cones right here. You got to be careful. But this is a pine tree. You can see the thick bark, very tall and straight. It bears cones, so you find those in your contiguous forest, all right? Look at that tall cedar with the fine needles and stuff. Very sticky too. But that cedar tree has medicine in it, and long ago they used to use the medicine in that for healing themselves, our natives. Also the Kentland, it smells like turpentine, and that's where turpentine is extracted from. Turpentine is used to heal wounds and stuff like that. This pine tree has sap inside of it. I don't see what any is running. It's a very healthy tree right here. No sap, no holes, but this pine tree here has sap. That sap they used to use in our early 1800s for kerosene. You get that sap and you can burn it, put it on a stick, and go through the woods with it burning on a stick. It lasts for a long time. You can extract it from a tree by sapping it and putting a little tap in. They call it tapping. Put a little tap in it where the juice could run out, all right, and into a little container. And we may get a chance to do that later this year. Before we go back to regular school season. I'm kind of enjoy being able to do the things I loved to do when I was a little girl. This is an oak tree leaf right here. And you can see it kind of heart-shaped, but I got them little thingies right there. On the back of all leaves, you see their vines, their veins. All right? This silkiness here absorbs sunshine for the plant to go through photosynthesis, all right? So that's where you get that energy from. I'm trying to find different trees here that I can talk about and tell you what they are, all right? But our contiguous forest, as you can see, is very, very beautiful. A lot of thicket, a lot of undergrowth. Got a maple tree over there. This is a maple tree too. It's a little baby one here. That's a maple tree. We have our ash. I've showed you that. I showed you the sycamore. These are some wild flowers here. Not sure what kind they is, but being that they have a flower on it like that, they're gonna have some kind of berry or something that we probably can't eat that. I would know if we could eat it because I grew up in the country. So that is some of the things you'll find here. Let's see what other kind of trees you can see. But these are honeysuckle vines, all of these right here. So eventually that shrubbery would grow that honeysuckle flower, and you could use that to make your juices or whatever, all right? So many things out here. I see vines, wild hickory, wild fern. Look at there. This is a wild fern. If you can see that, it's beautiful. I love wild ferns. You see those all through Lowe's and stuff. This is moss right here. All right. Mushroom season has left. This is not the season for mushrooms, but you can often see a lot of mushrooms growing in these coniferous forests. All right. This forest bathing, I can tell you, I can feel the fresh air, and I know I'm going to feel great tomorrow. I got to do this more often. I'm thinking of buying me a home deep in the woods somewhere for work, for peace, secondly for health and fresh air. Get away from all the pollutions and pollutants in the air and water, city water. I hate that. I go get water from a fresh spring, underground water, runoffs, and underground water reserves in the country. Gosh, I wish I knew what this tree was. It's a lot of these trees, but I think it's a bush. It's some kind of bush. Kind of look like a hedge. Maybe it used to be where someone lived here a long time ago, and it was a home or something. They planted these hedges because that's a little foreign to me. But this is our coniferous forest. I wanted to show you, if I can find it, poison ivy. The poison oak itself is a shiny, slippery leaf, and I don't see any right here. And you want to stay away from that, because if you do touch it, some of you could be allergic to it, and it can cause bumps and you to break out, and it's very uncomfortable. I'm allergic to poison ivy. That's one of the first plants I learned of. So this is right here used to be a river. If you can see this groove here, it used to be a river, but it dried up. And we find that through man changing our landscapes for conveniences, as in building cities, and they change our natural forestry, and it really caused problems for Native Americans in the 15, 16, 1700s as settlers begin to settle here in the county. There's a little rabbit running over there, if you could see it. Oh, it's so cutie, cute, cute. Oh, yeah. So you also find a lot of little small animals here. You won't find a lot of big old animals and things like that. Cannot find any poison ivy. Really wanted to show you that, because that poison ivy, or poison oak, I keep saying ivy. Ivy grows on a vine, oak grows in like a little plant. Poison oak grows in like a little plant. But this is our forestry. Sometimes you can find wild vines like this here. This is going to be mustardine. It's going to grow and have those big mustardines that you eat from grocery stores. It's one of the first types of wild grapes that you would find, and it used to be very plentiful in the southern states. It used to make wines, preserves, jellies, and things like that. So there we go. I do not see any poison ivy. I cannot show you any poison ivy. I see a lot of beautiful fern. Moss, of course, we looked at that. We also looked at different trees. It's trying to find something different I haven't talked about. We talked about the maple. You can get maple syrup from these trees too. But anyway, that is our forest, and I'm going to enjoy my forest bathing. So I encourage you to go ahead and do that too. And when you're out there in the forest, get a piece of paper, write coniferous or deciduous, and spot some of these trees and what they could do for you. Research it so you can know when you're out there and know the benefits of. You never know when you need this information. And I tell you, when you're in school, to take all you can from the school, from your teachers, and from your books, okay? So until next time, I will talk to you later, okay? Have a great day. Take care of yourself. Follow those COVID-19 rules, okay? Bye-bye.